Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come on in from everywhere. Let me see where I am. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Can you all see me? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I don't think you can see me. Give me 1 second. You know we're doing something new. I have my special guest coming on tonight, but I can't find my face on here. Okay. I think I got it. I think I got it. Come on in, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Everybody from everywhere. It is 6 p.m. Almost 6 5:59. Come on in, everybody. I am so grateful. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Everybody, come on in, come in. I am excited on tonight because we have a special guest, but I want you to come on in. Let somebody else know we're on. Like, share, tag somebody, especially all of us who are caregivers. Come on in. I'm super excited about tonight. And I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. So I want you all to come in, come in, come in, like and share, tag somebody, let them know that, hey, we are on tonight. And we are going to be talking to our caregivers. We're going to be talking to those who work in the healthcare field, whether it's at a facility or you're a caregiver at your home with somebody, with a relative, with somebody. So come in. I want you all to come in. Put somebody's name in the comments and let them know that we are on tonight. I want you all to come in and do what we normally do. I'm putting my names in the comments as well because that's what we do. Keep coming in, keep coming in, keep coming in. I appreciate all of you. It's just a little hello, Miss Dorette. Keep coming in. I'm putting names in the comments as well because I want you. Um, I want to do what I'm asking you to do. So come on in from everywhere. We have a special guest on tonight, but I want to greet you and let you know how much I appreciate you as always. Let you know how thankful I am for you and to just greet you here. It's a beautiful Monday where we are here in the city of Milwaukee or Brown Deer. It's a great Monday, and hopefully you all had a wonderful time in church on yesterday. I know we did, and so many wonderful things are coming up. We are in the month of June, you all. We are at the 6th month of the year. Can you believe it? We are halfway through. This month, besides tonight, we have a special guest. We're going to have another guest. It's Father's Day this month, and we are going to celebrate our fathers on this month as well. We want our men to know that women with purpose appreciate them too. So keep coming in, keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on coming in. We appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us on tonight. Thank you, Miss Dorette. Stay on with us. Stay on with us. I'm putting some more names in here because I don't want you all to forget. Come on in, come on in. I'm grateful again on tonight for all of you. I'm kind of taking my time here because I want to make sure that our audience is nice for our guest on tonight. Come on in. Come on. Yep. If you're there, keep coming in, keep coming in, keep coming in. I appreciate all of you for being with us on tonight. I can't find where we are, but keep coming in, everybody. Keep coming in. Um, I want to introduce to you someone um, who I have found. Let me bring her on. I want to introduce to you and present to some, those of you. We talked about the fact that um, how important caregiving is. And again, whether you're a caregiver in a facility or you have been the chosen one to caregive for a family member, a friend, a spouse. And tonight I have such a jewel, such a pleasant person that in our conversation, I just know that this was a God meant thing that we were supposed to have connected for such a time as this. I want to introduce to you all Miss Adele Boston. I want to give you a little bit of her bio before she speaks to us on tonight. Adele is the founder and the CEO of, I don't want to mess up the name, Family First. She is the founder and CEO of Family First. And the name Family First came to her from a belief that family is more than just blood. And we know that, right? Family is people coming together, supporting one another, and helping each other through life challenges. And we've always talked about with Women with Purpose, we need that person to help us, that support system, right? And many of us have been that person. And so that's why we're talking tonight about caregivers. And she wants every person to serve, uh, every person that we serve as caregivers to feel valued and respected and cared for without judgment. And that's something that's very important to us. Life experiences, through her life experiences, just like many of us, hardships and losses, have taught her strength and empathy and gratitude. And God has always been the one, she says, to carry her through difficult seasons in her life. And I can be a testimony to that as well. Often through kindness of others, she believes that it is her responsibility to give that same kindness back. And the scripture often tells us to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. And so this is why she chose this mission to help care for people who cannot always speak for themselves, cannot always care for themselves, and to support the caregivers who spend their lives caring for others. I can go on and on in her bio, but I read to you the most important part. But she is, I believe, doing the will of God and doing what God has called her to do. And the name Family First, where she brings people together, encourage them, teach them, motivate them, give them resources to help them do what God has called them to do, and even sometimes do things that maybe it was not really on our agenda to do, but God has found it to where you were the person. You were the person for your husband, as I am. You were the person for your mom, for your father, for your child. You were the person for your grandma or a sister or brother. You just very well may be the person. And what I was telling Adele was this: what I have found out in me caring even for my husband unexpectedly with the issues of diabetes, what I have found out is that caring for him in the natural has helped me even in the spiritual realm to care for people that God has placed in my life when I'm doing ministry, whether it's at church as a first lady, whether it's as the district missionary, whether it's out doing evangelism or out just doing ministry, whatever God has given me. Me doing that, this caregiving for my husband has helped me even in the spiritual realm to be very sympathetic to people and their needs, even in ministry. So I don't want to take up a lot of her time. I want her to talk to you all. I want her to give you all that God has given to her to give to you. And I'm inviting you and other caregivers to come on in, like, share, tag somebody. If you have a caregiver in your family, if you're the caregiver, I want you to be on tonight because tonight is extremely, extremely important. All right, Miss Adele, take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adele, and I just want to be thankful for Miss Antoinette allowing me to come in and spread the awareness. I appreciate that, and I want to thank all you ladies, those who aren't caregivers, for coming and listening. Maybe you can help someone else. I want to talk about this. It definitely is a concern because it's something that we cannot avoid. At some point in time, somebody's going to grow ill. Somebody in our family may be sick. Circumstances change all the time. That give you tonight aren't just for when a circumstance does happen to be if a loved one gets sick. It's helps in parenting. It helps in life. Period. Things that I learned to help me be successful, not just in caregiving, but being a parent and then caring for myself as well. I want to start by saying, if you aren't able to take care of your parents, there's always different circumstances, or your child. If they're in a facility, that's fine because nobody knows what you know or what you're going through. So there's no judgment ever passed. I've worked with a lot of different people with different circumstances. However, I will say it's important to always be active in their care. You want to talk to the nurses. And if you don't understand something, always ask for a social worker. I want you to be aware of the resources that are available for you as family. You know, I always, when my dad was in the rehabilitation center, I always made sure I checked his toenails, his fingernails, and I was never rude because I understand he's not the only one in the facility. So I would pull a nurse to the side, thank her first for what she's done, and then I would talk to her about some of the concerns I had, and when would be the possibility that they can get him in and do whatever. First rule in caregiving and in life is to be kind. We want to be kind to people. We want to be humble because you never know when the situations change. And this is something I've also learned. So tonight, I want to let you know that many caregivers never plan to become caregivers. Sometimes, as Miss Antoinette said, it falls in our laps. A loved one with a disability, an aging parent, caregiver stress and burnout is real. Asking for help is not a weakness, it's a strength. Delegating your duties. A lot of times, it's the small things. If you have a child around you, if you have another adult, a teenager, that's a helping hand and use it. Little things like having them do a meal prep or asking one of them, can they call and schedule the appointments? Delegating your duties is a big help and it allows you to focus more on the bigger things. Family meetings, talking to people, saying, well, what can you do? Okay, I'm here and I'm able to be here, but what is it that you can do to help? Can somebody send dinner that week? Those small things, they do help out. I want to talk to you about signs of burnout, caregiver burnout, parenting life, feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, anxiety, depression, isolation's a big one, difficulty sleeping, you're feeling guilty for needing a break, neglecting your own medical and emotional and spiritual needs. Our calendars are our friends. You want to manage your time. You want to say, up this morning, I have to do this or that for myself because you can't take care of anybody if you're not taken care of. So you start your day as early as you can so that you can get your needs out the way. Mondays may be your day, right? Where, you're going to do your appointments that day, whatever it is, take that time out. Take care of yourself, get your day started. That is the most important thing because you can't help anyone if you're not helping yourself. So I did want to point that out. Counseling. A lot of people think that, well, I can talk to God. And yes, you can. But they forget that God gives us doctors and counselors as well. So, like, exhaust your resources, talk to God, call your counselors. Sometimes people looking from the outside can help you with things. They can also give you resources. There may be things that you don't know about that a counselor or a social worker knows about. And then that can give you that information and help you in so many ways. And this is how I came to be where I am, always reaching out and asking for help. Because one thing I always did understand, I cannot take care of my dad by myself. I can't do this by myself. So I began to ask. I began to manage my time. We want to prepare for emergencies in the future and future care needs. A lot of people, they don't like to talk about life insurance, preparing for the worst, but it is a part of life. And you do things by steps. I tell a lot of people to start with your PCP, your personal care provider. My mom and dad had got a living will that made requests with their PCPs, which was really nice because when they took ill, we were thinking with emotions and we were like, we want to keep her on the machine, but those weren't her wishes. So a social worker stepped in and reminded us that they had spoke with our parents, had spoke with my mother, and they gave us another week. They said, but we have to respect her wishes. It's important to do that. We've had situations before where a person can no longer eat, whole foods, but because they haven't set their will up or let us know what they needed and hadn't spoken for themselves while they could, their daughter may come in and say, well, I don't want them on a feeding tube. They wouldn't want that. So we have to follow what she says. And the sad part is we take them off the feeding tube and all we can do is give them a little water here or there, and they end up starving to death. And I've learned that in this field, to speak for yourself while you can. Speak for your family while you can. You always want to have an emergency plan. If I get sick, if I have a surgery, and I know a few of you have came up on surgeries like, oh my God, who's going to come and help me? So these things are important because we don't know what's going to happen. So you want to set an emergency plan aside. Preventative care, preventative planning, all these things can help the journey. You want to plan as much as you can. No, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we can try to put pieces in place and make things a little easier for us. And that's very, very important. So I did want to get that out the way. Another thing that I have noticed is that we don't like to talk about what to do if our parents or our children end up declining. Kids have car accidents. And like I said, nobody wants to visit that. I too, I don't like to talk about things. I feel like words have power. But I've also seen situations where things have happened. People didn't have a plan. And it destroyed the family. It destroyed the person, the parent, whoever was going through it, because they felt like they could not help their child because they didn't have a plan. And, that's the worst feeling in the world, especially when your child or your parent go through something and you feel helpless. It's not the feeling that we want. So we would like to, prevent that. Living wills, your power of attorney, discussing a power of attorney. And you have a power of attorney, and then you also have a power of medical attorney. So it's a couple different things. And if you're speaking with your PCP, they can run all that down to you, asking them different things like that. And they can send you to a nurse care navigator, and they can all help you set up a plan. I've already set mine up. I'm still making changes here and there, but I'm trying to prepare so that if something does happen to me, it's a smooth transition for my kids. The last thing I want them to worry about is what are we going to do? How would she like this? I'm just putting everything down, and it's important. It's just a part of life. Guardianship. We want to get that, together. Life insurance, even if it's just the basic, because some people, they have chronic conditions, and you know getting those larger policies, you can't pass the physical. Don't worry about that. Just try to at least get the basic. Anything helps. Just a $10,000 policy, any little thing helps. So don't worry about getting $100,000 or $200,000 policy. There's no need for that unless that's what you want to do. But me, basically, 10,000 and put me away, I said. In the life planning, things that you and your husband want. Sometimes you'll go somewhere and you'll be at a funeral or at the doctor, and you'll hear the kids or the family, and you'd be like, oh God, if they were here to see, or if they knew what was going on, so to prevent that, you would like to sit down and talk to your spouse, and sometimes that may be uncomfortable, but just be mindful, revisit it. It's not something that you got to do today, but it's something to definitely consider. Community resources. These are very important. Um, Autism support organizations for developmental disabled children, respite care providers, support groups. That is a big thing. You need all the support you can get. Don't ever think that you're in this alone, because you're not. The person sitting next to you can help. You know, they may have some information for you in the support group. So just know that it's not a journey on your own. Um, Churches, they are very helpful because churches are full of different people in the community. You got doctors, lawyers, a little bit of everybody is in the church. So you definitely want to talk to your church. Or, if you don't have a home church, just reaching out to any church, just letting them know what's going on. And you'd be amazed at the help that you can get. Um, Self care. I'm going to go over that again. Um, we must take care of ourselves, uh, staying hydrated, taking our medications. Um, just recently, in December, my niece, 38 years old, she has 5 kids. She's running around trying to take care of her kids. Her husband, he had a drinking problem, but she still was married to him, and they were going to the AA meetings. I mean, she had a full plate. 38 years old. She was in the church trying to get some gifts for her son, and for around Christmas, she collapsed and had a stroke. She had a massive hemorrhage, and she never woke up. It was a big surprise, and talking more to the kids, she hadn't been taking her medicine. She wasn't big on drinking her water. She was running around trying to take care of everybody but herself. And now she's gone. And now she's not even here to take care of the people that was most important to her, you know. Um, and the kids are devastated. She didn't have a plan. So we're in the middle of making plans and supporting our nieces and nephews the best that we can. Um, And I've just hit and missed on a lot of different things. But my main thing is self care for caregivers. Don't think that you're alone. Plan, time management, exhaust your resources, reach out to your community. And a lot of people are private. You don't have to tell everyone your business to say that I need help. There are so many different ways that you can communicate it. Just by simply saying, "Hey, food pantries." I mean, it's a lot of things you can do. There is a older couple that I take care of, and as a lot of you know, Social Security, retirement, it's not a lot in a lot of our older community. With the food stamp cut and all that, they don't have a lot of money to be spending on food. They don't have a lot of money to spend on their medications. So I do things like I'll go out in the community, go to a food pantry, get food for them, make sure they got the perishables. They have the food nets where they have food that day, and just run it over, drop it off, giving them something to eat, and then showing them where I went and where to look for the resources, and letting them know to call me. I've had to help caregivers the same way because their money's low because they've actually had to cut back on hours to take care of their family. So I've reached out to them and we've got some pantries and found some plans. It doesn't have to be complicated. I don't want you to think that no one cares. People still do care. So I want you to always pray, talk to God, open your mind, open your heart to help, and understand that anything can land in our laps at any time. Taking a simple CPR class, just look up free healthcare classes in your community. They may have them at the church sometimes. CPR. I signed my daughter up when she was younger for a babysitting class at the Y, and she got her CPR. Um, and at 12 years old, she was able to babysit legally. So she was prepared to help me with her younger siblings. I gave her the training that she needed. I had her going to a Med Aid class with me. We got our Med Aid together. And when my dad took ill at 15, she was able to watch me and understand me putting the medications in for what days. I set up the organizers and she made sure her grandfather took those medications on those days. If she had a problem, she would call me and communicate with me. And then when she became 18, she was able to take the actual Med Aid test and become a medication aid along with her mother. So, she's a social worker. That's not, she doesn't want to be a caregiver. But just in case she ever has to or has to help, she is equipped to do so. So that's just kind of what I want to talk to you about, preparing yourselves for different situations, especially with our loved ones declining, because no one's going to take care of them like you do, and no one knows them like you do.
Miss Adele, I want to thank you for all of the very important information that you gave us on tonight. I don't didn't want to cut you off here, but there was just a few things that I wanted to go back over with you, and
Hmm.
that is just celebrating our caregivers, celebrating those who have taken the time to care for somebody else. And as you said earlier, a lot of times it does just fall in your lap unexpectedly. Um, Many on here have heard my testimony often, even with my husband and things of that nature. But sometimes it happens like that. But what gives you the ability to do even sometimes what you don't even realize that you're able to do. It is the God on the inside of you. God put it on the inside of you something special. And I think that anyone who takes their time to care for someone else is a very special person. Um, and I want to salute all caregivers today. I want to salute you. I want
Definitely.
to appreciate you. I want to thank you for taking time out to realize the importance of somebody else. And I know you said it earlier, it's not always an easy thing. And it could be your family, it could be your spouse, it could be your sister, your brother, your children. And you're like, well, I know them, I know it, but anyone knows when taking care of someone that has challenges health wise, disabilities, it's not always an easy thing. And I think I was sharing with you earlier that when someone loses their independency, they feel some kind of way about those things. And so we as caregivers have to be patient, we have to be understanding. We can't be making it seem like they're getting on our nerves for for asking us to come here one more time. All of those things. I really do believe, um, speaking for them, if I can, they may not always say it, but they appreciate you and they are grateful for you because at the end of the day, they realize in their heart, and some of them may not be so verbal with it, but they realize that if you were not there to help me with my medication, to help make sure, we've meal prepped for the day, or put my clothes out, or help me bathe, or help me be an advocate for me at the doctor's office. And one time, I may call you back again to talk about that, being an advocate for the person that whether it's your wife, your husband, your child, sister, brother, or whoever that's in your family, your grandparents, being that advocate for them when it comes to their health and helping them to understand. Sometimes doctors talk in language, that's way above our heads. But then just being there to say, can you repeat that again in common language? I promise you, just speaks volumes. Because how many times do many of us go to the doctor and we walk away and it's like, I don't even know what he said, but okay. I don't even know what she said, but okay. And we don't ask
Amen.
those questions, right? Or we just say, well, you the doctor, so I'll believe what you said. But just being that person, to advocate for that person, being that caregiver that's advocating, being that caregiver that's advocating for medications, for their physical well-being, for their mental well-being, all of those things. This is the reason why I wanted to talk about celebrating caregivers today, and you with your business family first, and doing just that for caregivers. I just thought it was so befitting to just put a few things in our membrane tonight, to make us think about, where are we? Where is our family? What does that mean for us? Some of us, like I said, many of us are at the age now where we may have to pay a little more attention to our parents, which is a natural thing. Some of us are at the age where maybe we have children that have some type of disabilities or whatever, and that we have had to walk away from work and now take care of our children. We talked about um, moms and parents with children of disabilities, and so all of those things. And we just wanted to celebrate today, Women with Purpose. We wanted to celebrate you. We wanted to celebrate each and every one of you who have taken this role in working with someone besides yourself. And I agree with Adele that whatever it is that you're doing, whoever it is that you're caring for, please make sure you care for yourself first. It's just like when you get on the airplane, they tell you to put a mask on you first before you work on everybody else. Because if you're not cared for, then it's not going to be easy to care for anybody else. And so, um, again, tonight was all about appreciating all of you who are caregivers, whether you're caregivers in a facility, a nursing home, a group home, someone's personal home, or your caregiver of a family member of yourself. I wanted to personally say to you, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all that you have had to step back away from to make sure somebody else's life was what it needed to have been, or what it needs to be on a day-to-day basis. And so my kudos off to you all, hats off to all of you. And once again, Women with Purpose that are on tonight, help me celebrate and thank God for Miss Adele Boston, who has taken her time to come and talk to us and give us those special nuggets. And you all think about that. Find your community resources, whether it be churches or local food pantries. Many of us have family and aging disability agencies in our communities. All of those places. Find out where your help is so that you're not stuck trying to figure it out by yourself. There is help out here. Miss Adele, I'll give you the last few minutes to say something before we close out on tonight. But again, I want to say thank you for everything and your time and our connection. And I just believe this was a God connection, and this will not be your last time being with us on tonight. So have your last words before we end on tonight.
Okay. And thank you again for having me. And I just want to also let everyone know who's on here that me and Antoinette found some resources and she can share them with you if you have any questions at the end of this and want to talk to her. She does have those for you. I don't want to take up the time going through all of them, but they're out there. And also, I just want everybody to remember that we're not machines. And sometimes we can't. There's nothing wrong with stepping away. Sometimes you need that time. Me and my sisters came up with a plan, and my daddy was bad. He had his ways. So one sister would get upset, and then another sister would step in. I got daddy for a week. I got him for 2 weeks, and we just kept on. And then it got to the point where, my older sisters, he was declining, and it was really bothering them. And I just brought it on in for him. We worked together, and he was able to pass at home around all the people that he loved. And it was important for me to do that, all of us to do it, because when we were sick, he was always there for us. So we return that favor. But like I said, in a lot of situations, sometimes we can't be there like that, but don't feel bad about it. But always be there as much as you can and advocate for your family, advocate for yourself. If you don't understand something, like Miss Antoinette said, step to the nurse and say, I didn't really understand all of that. Can you do a rundown with me one last time? Educate yourself. You want to know what's going on with you. You want to know what's going on with the people that you're taking care of. So I just did want to end with that. And thank all you ladies again for all you do. Gents, if you're on here, I appreciate all of you. It's not easy, but it's doable.
It is. It is doable. It is doable. And again, thank you, ladies, for joining us on tonight. We appreciate you, and again, hats off to all of our caregivers. Just know that we love you and we appreciate you, and you are in our thoughts and in our prayers. Miss Adele, have a great and wonderful rest of your evening, and we will see each other again. God bless.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. Thank you.